Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, September 28th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly. Got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. There, one last thing here to update. All right, looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks like we are good to go. So I'll get a few moments for people to join in, and we'll get started shortly. One last place. Solid. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Looks like people are still making their way in. Today is Thursday, September 28th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here just to get that out of the way. So again, guys, we're kind of changing up the way that we're coloring the markups for liquidity. It doesn't really make a big difference because we're still marking up liquidity as it's supposed to be marked up. The only difference here is that we're marking them up in a different color if they are either risky liquidity or just normal liquidity. So basically all the higher highs, lower lows are going to be marked in red, and the high lows and lower highs are going to be marked in blue, because blue is kind of like an okay color, meaning like it's okay to take. Red's going to be, it's a bit more of a riskier entry. So that's why I'm coloring them red. And I think it's been pretty useful for the most part. I mean, there's never going to be an end all be all, like a for sure this is guaranteed going to be risky or this is not going to be risky. But I think this is a better way to identify it, because looking at things based off time frame doesn't necessarily mean risky, right? As you guys know. So mark these up. Go down to the 8 hour. There. I mean, a lot of these higher time frame ones don't really matter anyways, because they're so far away from current price. I think the lower time frames one are what matters the most, especially if they're higher highs and lower lows. All right, we got the 4 hour here marked up, going down to the 2 hour. There. I'll color that red. Going down to the 1 hour. Color that blue. Blue. I mean, I'm not really expecting these to get hit anyway, so it's not really a big deal. Over here. There. Red. Other than blue. Down to the 10-minute. All right, looks like we are good to go. I'm just giving an update over here. If people realize that it's not posted on my Telegram. All right. So, all right, guys. Morning, everybody. Looks like majority of you guys are here so far today. So the market's going to open in about 3 minutes, guys. Let's see who's here so far. We have Marcin. Morning, Maria. Morning, William. Morning, Daniel. Morning, everybody. Looks like pretty much everybody's here. I've marked up liquidity over here. So closest level of liquidity is going to be down below right here. At this level below. It is going to be a risky liquidity. So if you want to take it, probably only go for 100 pips. The higher level liquidity is going to be up here at 33,895. So we have a higher level of liquidity up here. We have a lower level of liquidity down here. And that's pretty much the closest level of liquidity. So upper level is going to be 33,895. Lower level is going to be 33,743. Other than that, that's pretty much liquidity for now. Looking over here at our main chart, we currently have a buy signal. So if we get 2 green candles on open, that's going to be the or we'll see. We'll just wait. I'm not gonna call it out yet because it's still kind of early. So we have a pending sell signal here. So if we get a sell signal, then we may be having an opportunity for a sell for the breakout V2. But until then, we'll confirm what happens when the market actually opens in the next 2 minutes. Looking over here at the news calendar for today. So today we had news at 5:30. So news at 5:30. The Fed's currently speaking right now at 6, and we have news at 7 o'clock. So 5:30, 7, 7:38. Just mark that real quick. 5:30, which was this big candle right here, of course. So we have that right there. We have the Fed currently speaking. We have more news at 7, 7:30, and 8, I believe. So thanks for the heads up, guys. Alan, for letting us know. Yes, we got news at 7, 7:30, and 8. At 7 o'clock, we have medium impact news, pending home sales. At 7:30, we have gas stock change. 8 o'clock, we have the Kansas Fed Manufacturing Index. So we have news right here at 5:30. We have the Fed currently speaking right now at 6 o'clock. So you might want to be a little careful with the entries. He'll probably be done speaking in the next 30 minutes or so. So, I mean, if that's the case, we might just have to sit tight for a little bit, but we'll see how market moves on open here. So we got market opening shortly in a few moments. So it looks like we are good to go, guys. Market is opening in about 5 seconds. And here goes market open. So market is now open. You guys can see this crazy spike to the downside right here on open. I'm going to mark this up as opening price. Again, we need 2 green candles in order for us to have opportunity for entry here. So blue. All right, guys, so market is now open. We have a pending sell signal right here. If we get a sell signal here, then the breakout V2 may possibly be for a sell. However, we don't have that closed yet. So we currently are just waiting for, basically 2 green candles. All right, so we got a sell signal here. We're no longer looking for a buy for the breakout V2. We're currently now looking for a sell. We need 2 red candles in order for us to have that for the entry for the breakout V2. So there's 2 different scenarios or 2 different strategies that can play out here. We currently have a sell signal here. So if we get 2 green candles, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp. So if you guys are looking to take the momentum counter scalp, that is going to be coming up if there's 2 green candles. If that doesn't come up and there's 2 red candles, then it's going to be the breakout V2. So it's a little bit of a risky market again today, as you guys can see. It's just not very directional, and it's not very smooth how price is moving. So if you get 2 green candles here, technically that'd be the momentum counter scalp. Obviously these candles here are huge, so I don't know if you even want to, obviously take the trade or not. But I mean, we'll see. I'll let you guys know how I perceive it once it comes up. But right now you guys can see a lot of back and forth movement, not very much consistency. If there's a buy signal right here, then there's no momentum counter scalp for the day. So you guys will see over here that the momentum counter scalp requires that if there's no entry on the first candle, then there's no momentum counter scalp. So if this here closes with a buy signal, there's no momentum counter scalp for the day. You're just taking the first one. If it closes with a green candle but no buy signal, then technically, yeah, this is still a momentum counter scalp entry. So it's going to be hard to tell because this candle is going to close, and then I think at the very last second, this momentum signal may just disappear. So this is going to, you have to really pay attention to it. If it closes with a momentum signal, no entry. If it closes without a momentum signal, but it's green, then it's still an entry for a momentum counter scalp. So just keep an eye on it if you guys are looking to take it. I think it's going to play out right there. But it was kind of hard to tell how it ended up closing right there. So the entry is technically right here. If you guys did decide to take it for the momentum counter scalp. Let's see. All right, I took it full TP on my end. It was just a risky entry, guys. So I didn't really want to tell you guys to for sure take it or not. I took it because I just felt comfortable with it. I thought I was going to push at least 100 pips. The reason for that's because there was a buy signal. The buy signal didn't close. And I figured the next candle over here would probably close with the buy signal. So I took it for a quick little push. Got it for 100 pips right there. Just a quick little profit. So that is the momentum counter scale. Let me just take a screenshot of this real quick. And then we'll continue looking for a possible entry for the breakout V2 if and when that happens. But there goes a momentum counter scalp. Market open over here at 630. We had a sell signal come up right here. 2 opposite candles here for the counter scalp, and this here ended up being the counter scalp entry. So just a quick profit for 100 pips. So if you guys took it, great work. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. It was a bit of a risky trade. I don't want to put you guys in a risky position to start off the day if you didn't feel like taking it. So I'll put that right there. I'll just update this real quick. This is for the counter scalp. Today is the 28th. Today at 6, came up at 632. It's for a buy, win 100 pips. Let's copy this over. All right, so there goes a counter scalp right there. Moving back to the chart, we're now looking for the breakout V2. Andreas is asking, the second candle before the entry wasn't a little too big. I mean, it doesn't matter if it was too big or not. That's not one of the requirements, Andreas. So for the momentum counter scalp, you're just looking for 2 green candles. So it doesn't really matter what happens here. I mean, what would matter would probably be the entry candle right here, but this one doesn't have any relevance to the strategy. So yeah, it doesn't matter about this one. If this one here, if this one was a huge, like say for this one, if this was, because if you put the TP stop loss right there, see how it was 1025, right? It's within range because even if price was to pull back, it'd still be bigger than the candle right here. But if this candle was the size of this one, then yeah, maybe you might want to avoid it. But the first candle has no relevance. It's the one that's prior to entry. because it's just a follow through. All right, so we're looking for a breakout V2. Currently, the momentum counter scalp just came through right there. I'll take a screenshot of my profits, and then we'll keep looking for the breakout V2. As you guys can see, the market is moving. It's still kind of choppy. It's not as bad as it was yesterday, but it's still a little choppy. So let me see. That's good. I just got a payout on 2 of my FTMO accounts. So, I mean, there's no point in me screenshotting the whole month anymore because the month is pretty much over. And then also, it's not going to show the profits from the other account because they gave me a new login. So, I think we talked about this. My previous month wasn't the greatest month. So they moved me to server 2 after my payout last month. And then now they're moving back to just server without any server 2 after it. So I'm actually on the better server now. So what I'll do here is I'll just screenshot for the day because it's not going to make it. It's not really going to make sense because the month for the 2 accounts that I've gotten paid out, I also took off one of my personal accounts. So I merged my personal account into one personal account. Wait, why didn't I copy the trade? Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, I was trying to figure out why I didn't copy the trade on one of my accounts. I just realized that my I might have turned off the copier. Yeah, I might have turned off the copier on my and I still gotta remember how to upload profits here on the Zoom. Okay, here, let me just put this over here real quick. I'm still getting acclimated to the Discord here. So I got that right there. We're still looking for the momentum for the breakout V2, guys. The the breakout V2 still hasn't come up yet. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a bunch of messages here on the Discord. Guys, so I've been warning you guys about like us switching over to Discord for like the past month now. If you guys are barely like following directions, then you're gonna have to wait until after the session for me to get back to you. I know a lot of you guys are probably having trouble getting onto the Zoom, but you guys should have listened. You guys should have listened like a month ago. I know you guys were on the Zoom, so you should have been here paying attention when I said to message me on Zoom. And especially if you've been getting like a bunch of messages from the Discord, because I've been DMing everybody on the Discord to like send me your emails. If you guys didn't send me your emails and it's been like weeks, I can't do anything to help you guys right now because we're trading. So all right, guys, if you guys are not on the Zoom, unfortunately you have to miss this session, but I will get to your messages later. And my Zoom's like all of a sudden everybody wants to respond on Discord because they can't get on the Zoom. But I've been warning everybody for like the past month to get everything sorted. All right, so let me go ahead and just copy this over real quick. Okay, so here are the profits across all my accounts for so far. There's no trades right now, so don't worry, guys. You guys aren't. Oh, here's the breakout V2. Sorry, guys. The breakout V2 just came out right here. It came up super quickly, and I didn't realize that there was 2 green candles there. So unfortunately, I'm not in the position. I'll follow it right here. It's currently in drawdown right now. It's a little bit of a risky entry, so I wouldn't have taken it myself. The reason for that is because of this pre-entry movement. See how price kind of bounced around right here, pre-market or pre-entry. So price kind of came down a little bit. It came up right here. whenever we see this, like if you guys have been following the breakout V2 for the past couple weeks now, whenever this happens, it's usually a risky entry. Like it's usually an entry that either doesn't play out or it goes kind of back and forth and then it eventually plays out, but it takes a very long time. So I probably would have skipped this anyways to begin with. This didn't look as good as the momentum counter scalp. We'll continue to follow it, but I'm not in this position here. So I don't think anybody else is in that position either because nobody was following it to begin with. But yeah, this technically would have been the breakout V2. So looking at this over here, we currently have, so we had a sell signal here. Or let's just go back to the beginning. So market opened right here. We had no 2 green candles. We had a sell signal right here. There's no 2 red candles. We had a green momentum right here. There's no 2 green candles up until this point. Once we had 2 green candles right here, this is technically where the breakout V2 is supposed to play out. But you guys can see that it came out super late at like 6:40. Typically the breakout happens immediately on open, like right here. So maybe it was a good thing that we didn't take the trade. I probably wouldn't have taken it anyways because of this movement right here. So I'll just document this, but I didn't take the trade, so it's not going to count. The only trade I took today was the momentum counter scalp. So I'm going to go and put that in the documentation over here for the breakout V2. Just update this real quick. So you guys can see the breakout V2, it's a decent strategy if like you take every single entry, but it's not always it's gonna be even better if you're gonna be able to avoid the riskier ones. So this one over here came up at 6:40, a little later than usual. You guys can see whenever the entries come up, they typically come up pretty early. But this one over here came up at 6:40. It was for a buy. It was for a buy. It was for a loss, 250 right there. Just copy this real quick. All right, so maybe the fact that I was kind of distracted for a second there was maybe a good thing because we would have taken that. Well, I probably wouldn't have taken it, but if we did take it, it would not have been a good trade to take. So there goes the breakout V2. The next entry that we may be looking for here would be the intraday scalp. If we get a sell signal right here, this could technically be the intraday scalp. The ATR right now is currently 23. So looking at this candle here, I think the candle might be too big. Yeah, it's going to be too big. So guys, again, we're testing 4 different strategies here. We test the momentum scalp that hit full TP, breakout V2, hit stop loss. The next entry here would be the intraday scalp. It'd be the sell entry right here. But looking at the criteria, if the momentum candle is over 300 pips, you skip to the next entry. So this right here obviously is too big. So this would not be the entry. The stop loss right here, if you measure 300 pips, the candle is just too big. This becomes a big risk because the price comes up and retraces and then comes back down, you'll get stopped out, right? So there's no entry right here for the intraday scalp. We're still looking for the intraday scalp and we're looking for the high-low momentum scalp. Yeah, it's kind of tough looking for like a bunch of different strategies at once, but I'll try my best to just stay kind of focused on these charts and not get distracted with, any questions and stuff like that. Yeah. So the only entry I took today was the momentum counter scalp over here. I'll copy this over to our trades for the month. This is for the counter scalp. And so these are basically all the trades for the month so far. Counter scalp hit, breakout V2 didn't hit, but I didn't take it, so it's not going to be part of the official trades. We're still looking for the intraday scalp. So in order for us to get the intraday scalp, we need price to retrace up again, provide a buy signal, and when it comes back down, that's going to be the intraday scalp whenever it happens. It hasn't happened yet. We're still looking for the high-low momentum scalp as well. So 2 different strategies. And then for our official strategy, we're going to be looking for the momentum pullback scalp. Vince just mentioned that a V1 hit. Yeah, this one right here. So it looks like this V1 variation. If you guys took it, it went straight to TP. Or actually, no. Yeah, actually, never mind. Take that back. That's right. So Vince is right. There was a V1 variation right here, double body rejection. If you guys took that trade right there, I mean, depending if you went for a 1-to-1, if you went for a 1-to-1, it'd be a 23-point win. If you went for the original TP stop loss, it'd be 1030. Either way, you would hit your TP right there for the V1 variation. So nice work right there, Vince, on catching that. I'm going to go ahead and put the overall bias for today over here so that you guys can see what it's looking like. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment. All right, retail sentiment for today is currently 60% long. So this indicates that 60% of retail traders are currently buying right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and sell. So we have a bearish retail sentiment. Looking over here at the fundamentals, fundamentals are currently, they're neutral right now. They're down 40 points, not very much as of now. Looking over here at the technicals, technicals are currently neutral for the lower time frames. You can see, I mean, it's more of a bearish, so more of a bearish neutral. You can see prices below the pivots. The trend meter is red, but it's a bit iffy of how price is moving. The higher time frames over here are obviously bearish. You can see on the 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour time frames, price is below the pivots. The trend meter is red. The pivots are angling down. This indicates price is in a downwards trend. So with that said, we currently have a bearish bias with regard to retail sentiment, 60% long. Typically want to do the opposite of everybody. Fundamental bias is currently neutral. It's negative 40 points. It needs to be below or above 100 points for it to be really in one side. Short-term technicals is bearish neutral, and long-term technicals is bearish. So we do have a bearish bias here, and Vince was correct in identifying this as a V1 variation. So in order to take a V1 variation, you need to identify the overall bias. The overall bias was bearish, so obviously you would be looking for sells there. So nice work right there, Vince, on catching that. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. There's nothing else right now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to mark up the levels. So let's go ahead and mark up the levels over here. So I'll start from the bottom. Color that black. So we got 80, 90, 700, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. You guys can see that there's a lot of volatility today. And the reason for that is because there's so many levels, right? Typically, we don't have this many levels when we're trading or when we're looking for momentum pullback scalps. Right now, it actually looks pretty nice because there's a ton of levels here. So we're going to have a lot of room to play with when it comes down to entry time for the momentum counter scalp. So looking at this right here, we typically don't look for the momentum counter scalp until like around 6:45. It's now 6:48, so it's looking like it's about to be time for opportunities for entry. So you guys can see the volatility right now is extremely high. Volatility on the ATR is currently 27. We're usually at like 15. So you guys can see this this fall season volatility is starting to finally kick in. Yesterday the market was pretty slow. Now it's pretty volatile. So we'll see what happens here in the next couple of minutes, but let me go ahead and check some stuff over here real quick. All right, so we're looking for possible entry here. I'm just going to look for the next momentum signal, guys, because we don't want to take this one over here. It's already been kind of messed with. So we'll look for the next momentum signal as price continues to obviously move along. And then we'll go from there. Here, let's see. So let's see. Williams said last fall there were so many high-level scalps, high-level momentum scalps, and V1's very excited for this fall market. Yeah, no, and I agree too. William, I'm expecting there to be a lot of volatility and movement. So I'm pretty excited too for how it's going to move here. Let's see. We currently don't have any entries right now, guys. I'm still looking at the chart. So I'm just doing some stuff, some behind the scenes stuff too, because it's getting this stuff over. It's good. But yeah, guys, just another reminder, if you guys have not checked your Discord messages, make sure to check your Discord messages. I sent a lot of messages to people and I haven't gotten any responses. There's a couple people who I got responses from, but not everybody. So just make sure you respond to it so that we don't move you to the wrong group, because a lot of people here are getting moved to the wrong group because they're not responding or they're not confirming their email. So, all right, I think I got everything for the most part set up here. All right, perfect. All right, so we got no entries here yet. We currently have a buy signal that's pending right now. It's not a high low momentum scalp because this candle over here broke and closed past the 2 pivots already. So there's 2 strategies that we're looking at to test still. We're looking at the intraday scalp. So in order to get that, we're going to look for a sell signal after this buy signal. And then after that, we're also going to look for the high low momentum scalp. Lastly, we'll be looking for some momentum pullback scalps. That's going to be the official strategy that we're looking to apply. And that's pretty much it for the most part. So we're just going to sit tight for a bit here until like market starts to provide us some opportunities. But right now, there's just no opportunities. We have news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. I think it's pending home sales, I believe. Yeah, pending home sales right here, month over month, year over year. It's medium impact news. So I'd probably hold off on taking any entries. This is going to come up in about 6 minutes, which is fine. I don't think we're going to get any entries from now until then. But we will be looking for possible entries there. So let's see, Vince said that the liquidity came back for the second touch. Okay, so if you guys took liquidity, the initial liquidity right here did hit full TP. And then the second touch for the one down below looks like it came through, or the first one came through already too. So looks like liquidity hit here for both of them. Came back for a second touch right there, and then it spiked right back up. So if you guys took liquidity, looks like there's liquidity down here that got hit. Price is now back in this range above. So I'll go over here to the clean chart and I'll start marking up the zones here. So let me go over to 630. So I try to split things up so that you guys can see things a little bit better. This is our clean chart. We typically don't use any indicators on here. We just mark up structure so that you guys can see how price is moving. All right, so there goes structure right there. You can see that price isn't really doing too much as price continues to, obviously go sideways. So you can see over here that there's not really much direction. I mean, there's volatility, but there's not much direction. Market opened right here, it came down, it faked out, came back up, faked out right here, came back down here, consolidated, came down here, faked out, came back up, and now it's back to where it was originally. So see how price was climbing right here? It's doing the same thing. It's climbing back up to the structure up here. So there's not really too much movement here, as you guys can see. This is why I like having a separate chart just for a clean markup so that you guys can see how the structure is moving. It's just basically repeating itself. So it came up right here, it faked out, came down. made people sucker into this entry right here, faked out again, and it went right back up. So it's basically like where it was on open. So market opened right here, and it was above this blue line, which is opening price. And again, price is back over here above the blue line. Target price point looks like it may be this structure up here, but it may fake out around this area. So it's not close enough to liquidity yet, but the target price point will probably be the liquidity here. If it continues to climb up higher and higher, this is where price wants to go. This level of liquidity, and that's going to line up with the zone above right there, or the higher zone, I guess. So there's another zone up here. That's basically where liquidity is going to be sitting. So I'll go just mark it up right here. So target price point right here, if it does continue climbing, is going to be this upper level. This is going to be liquidity. So all right, back to the main chart. So the trend meter is starting to shift, and the pivots are starting to shift as well, as you guys can see here. If this is the case, which this is completely fine with me, we just need to confirm that the pivot shift with regard to the trend. So in order for us to confirm that, we need to make sure that this red pivot is below all the other pivots. So that's going to be the main objective here. We need this red pivot to be below all the other pivots. If it's below, then we can confirm that price is now bullish with regard to the trend. The trend meter down below is green, but you can see the trend meter changes pretty often. So the trend meter is not as reliable as the pivots here. We're getting to that point, and if that's the case, then that's fine. So we'll just start looking for some buys. And then we have news right here at 7 o'clock. So I mean, you wouldn't take any entries from now anyway. So just wait until the news passes, guys. We have 3 minutes till news. It's 6:57 right now. So when the news passes right here, we'll see how price reacts to the news. And then from there, we'll start looking for any possible opportunities that may come up after that. Right now, we're just going to sit tight and wait. There's no need to force anything. I'll look over my profits real quick. So here are my profits so far. So I only took one trade today. I took one trade, which was this momentum counter scalp. You guys can see my profits over here. So let me just check to make sure if anything here changed. Okay, so for my first account right here, this is my funded engineer account. This is I locked in 950. This is my FTMO account locked in 1,510. This is my second FTMO account locked in 1,110. My third FTMO 1,110. My 200K account 2,420. This is my second funded engineer account, 470. This is my personal account, locked in 315. This is my first TFF. I think I might have turned off the copier on that on accident. And then this is my second TFF, locked in 1,066. So, I mean, decent profit so far, but there's not really much else for us to take right now at this specific moment. So, yeah, no, you're good, Natasha. So other than that, I think I already moved you over, Natasha, so you should be good. It was mainly the people who were, yeah, you're good, Natasha. So mainly the people who have like yellow for their name. So if you guys are on the Discord and you guys check your name and your name is yellow, that means that you're still in the process of being transitioned to the premium. So if you guys are in yellow, make sure that you check your Discord messages, or you just message me personally your email so that we can confirm it. Once we confirm that, then you guys will be fine. I know it's going to be a bit of some time until everybody kind of acclimates to Discord. I'm still trying to figure out everything on Discord too, but I think Discord is a lot better. If you guys have noticed on the Telegram, there's a lot of bots who have been joining the groups. So if you guys see over here, like especially over the weekend, you guys can see there's a lot of people here with these random names like Rosanna Drake. They're just like these Kanisha Bowers, like these are like very generic names, right? These are all bots, guys. So this is why I moved over to Discord, because there's so many bots here on Telegram. You guys can see all these people joined, and you can see they're all deleted accounts. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to prevent you guys from getting scammed by these scammers and bots on Telegram. So we moved over to Discord. I know there's scammers and bots on Discord too, but I'm gonna do my best to just actively manage the group so that you guys won't get caught. Because you guys always send me messages about random people messaging you and asking for Bitcoin and stuff like that. And I'm always trying to look out for you guys, but it's hard when there's so many bots on Telegram. So, all right, guys, other than that, we have a news candle right here. I'm going to take this off. This is news price. You can see how price is reacting to the news. Let's go ahead and take a look at the. All right, so the news for today was actually negative. So I think price might come back down. I mean, we'll see what happens with the year over year. Month over month is negative. So it's actually really bad. So last month, pending home sales were at 0.9%. Their consensus was that it was going to be 0.8% negative. It's actually negative 7%. So it's pretty bad with regard to home sales month over month. So price might be coming back down. This candle right here was bullish. It probably shouldn't have been bullish because obviously it's not looking good for home sales right here. That was just a manipulated push to the upside. The news here was obviously not good. So that shouldn't have pushed price up like it did right here. So, I mean, be careful because this might just be manipulated and come right back down. It doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be a reversal. Like it's not going to reverse straight down. This can happen, but for the most part, based off this news move right here, this news candle, the news was negative. For whatever reason, the year over year hasn't come up yet. So we'll come back and check that. Yeah, it hasn't updated yet. Let's check Forex Factory. Yeah, Forex Factory here was all negative. So the news here was, I mean, it's pretty red. So what you can probably expect is this candle might come back and refill this big green candle. So it might come down just to this green candle. And then once it comes back to this area right here, you know, obviously one of two things will happen. Price will either come down further or it'll correct right back up and just continue climbing. Unfortunately, this here lined up with our momentum pullback scalp, so we couldn't take the trade there. Right here, we had the price push up. Actually, there was a couple entries here that came up, but this was right before news. So, or technically, this would be the only opportunity because this is where the trend started to shift. Right there, you can see the red pivot is now below all the other pivots. So right here, price pushed up. This is a retracement. The entry would have happened right here. And this would have been the momentum counter scalp entry. But again, this is based off news, so I wouldn't have taken the trade there. It's just, it's too risky to take. But the trade there would have hit. So if you guys took it, I mean, some of you guys like to take trades even though there's news. So if you did take a trade based and there was news right there, it would have hit your TP. But for me personally, I would have skipped it. It's too risky of an entry to be taking in the middle of, you know, news right here, news movement. So it's kind of weird that the year over year didn't come up. Okay, so it's very negative. So last month, year over year was negative 14%. The home sales are down a lot, guys. So pending home sales are down tremendously compared to, well, the year over year is like pretty bad. So I don't know if anybody here is in real estate, but I mean, you can probably decipher that a lot better than I can, but you guys can see that a lot of people are not buying homes right now. Pending home sales are down heavily. I mean, we'll see if this housing boom happens, like, or this housing bust, right? A lot of people have been talking about the housing bust. I mean, we'll see. The prices are crazy. So I've been looking at homes for like the past 2 years. You guys have been following me with that. You know, my budget for homes like about 2 million. So I've been looking and like it just keeps going up because the interest rates are so high. So like instead of me buying like a $2 million house at like a 3% rate or even a 5% rate, rates are like at 7%. So they're so high. I end up paying so much more. Like my monthly payment, I think for a $2 million house would probably be initially it'd be like at maybe at like 15,000 a month. Now it's like over 20,000 a month mortgage, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty insane. Yeah, Daniel said all my mortgage and real estate friends are hurting right now. They crushed past 5 years though. Yeah, no, I agree, Daniel. Same with mine. All my mortgage friends too. They were killing it before, and now they're struggling to just get, because nobody's looking to buy a house, so it's hard for them to get, you know, deals out, deals into refinance because their interest rates are so high. Yeah, D said the interest rate sucks. Probably not going to drop anytime soon. Yeah, I don't expect it to drop anytime soon. I think the normal interest rate will be set at like maybe 5 to 7%. I think the interest rate will just probably keep going up. As you guys know, the Fed released some news the other day, or not the other day, the other month. You know, Fed month for this month, for September, they said that they're going to be increasing rates by the end of the year. So probably by October, it'll go up, or November, it'll go up. I don't think it'll go up in December. So I think the key dates to look for would be October and November for the rates to go up. If that happens, you're going to see the market kind of go down a little bit because it's not good for the economy, right? Interest rates go up. All right, let me just scroll up real quick. I want to see if I missed anything here. Yeah, definitely. William said summer's been good, but fall market for him is what he lives for in trading. Yeah, same here. Because then we could look for multiple entries that come up. Vince mentioned the V1s. Yeah, the V1s were hitting quite a bit. Kenny message, where's the message to confirm email and Discord? You're fine, Kenny. If you didn't get a message, you're fine. So just look at the Discord, Kenny. So guys, if you guys are a part of the Discord, make sure that you guys look at your name. So if you guys see your name over here on the list, if your name is in yellow, you have to contact me because I don't have we haven't confirmed your, some of you guys are fine though. So Tyler, I don't think you have to message me because I know who you are. If I know you personally and you're using like a name that I'm familiar with, you're fine because I can just do it myself. But some of you guys here would have to message me, especially if you guys are new. So just keep that in mind, guys. Or if you guys are just not, if you guys aren't sure, just message me your email, but you're fine, Kenny. I think your name's in blue already, so you've already been confirmed. Yeah, so Alan, yours is already blue too. So if your name is in blue, you're fine. It's only for the people who are in yellow because we can't like link your name. Like your name might be something like Forex Moneymaker Millionaire or something. And I'm like, who is this guy? So I can't like link you to your email if I don't know what your name is. If you're using your real name, I could probably link you. It's easier for me to do. But if you're using like a nickname, I can't figure out who you are. And the system is just going to get all automated. So that's why I would need that information. Anyways, guys, we currently have a possible buy signal that could be pending right here. If the buy signal does come up, this will technically be an entry for the intraday scalp. And then we can also look for a momentum pullback scalp and then also no high-low momentum scalp there, but so looking at this right here, there's actually a high-low momentum scalp that came up right here. I just saw it. Higher high, sell signal. It was against the trend though. This was 25 points. It obviously didn't play through. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this real quick. All right, so the high-low momentum scalp for the day didn't hit right there. You have a possible intraday scalp that's coming up right here, though. If the buy signal closes, which it does not look like it's going to. Yeah, so it didn't close right there. I'm just going to go and put the documentation for the high-low momentum scalp. So we had one over here. This here did not play through. Today is the 28th, 23. Entry for that came up over here at 7:05. It came up pretty late for a sell. -25. Oops. So the high-low momentum scalp is not looking good for first entry. And this is the reason why we're testing the strategy so that we can make sure that we're not taking any bad trades here. So the high-low momentum scalp is not looking so great. I need to check yesterday's because I don't think it came up yesterday. I'll have to just review this another time. But anyways, we're looking at the intraday scalp here next. So the high-low momentum scalp, as you guys know, I'm testing out these multiple strategies. I'm just trying to see like what's going to be good for us moving forward. Our main strategies that we're looking at would be the breakout V2. That's going to be obviously one of the ones that we're typically looking at. The win-loss ratio for the breakout V2 is still pretty decent. It's not horrible. Over here for the momentum counter scalp, this is another strategy that we're looking at. And then obviously the momentum pullback scalp. So a couple strategies there for us to look at. The next entry that we probably would be looking for would be the intraday scalp. And then if not the intraday scalp, we'll be looking for a momentum pullback scalp. So if I do decide to take these here, these are all speculative right now, aside from the momentum pullback scalp. If I see a good momentum pullback scalp, I'll mark it up and I'll let you guys know if I'm taking it. I probably will be taking it because it's still early in the session. But the other entry that we're also looking for would be the intraday scalp that we're testing. So we're just testing these, like these are like favorites amongst a lot of people. If we drop one of these, like say, for example, if you don't want to keep looking at the high level momentum scalp, we'll stop looking at this. And then we may flip this over and switch over to like a high-low scalp, because that's another strategy that a lot of people like. So yeah, I'm just trying to diversify our strategies. I know a lot of you guys, liquidity is like one of your guys' favorites too, but it's hard to test liquidity because liquidity is like there's so many moving pieces to liquidity. Like sometimes, for example, like this right here, or actually not this one specifically, but the liquidity here, sometimes like these liquidities will get hit pre-market, and it's like it's hard to like document it because it's not one of those strategies where you can just find one initially on open. I mean, technically, if you did, the entry would have been down here and it would have worked out, but still, either way, it's still kind of hard to document this specific strategy because it's more, there's so many entries for the liquidity push versus say something like the breakout V2, which happens once a day. So the thing with the market, guys, is that the market's always changing. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that by now. If you guys have been trading for a while, you know, we've been trading together for about over 7 years now on these live sessions. I've been trading total for about over 10 years now. So if you guys have traded for a whole year from season to season, say from like winter to spring to summer to now fall, you guys see that the market changes, right? So when the market changes, you have to adjust with the market. And that's where the real skill of trading comes in, because you can't just trade one strategy all year round. It's impossible. If you trade one strategy all year round, it's not going to be consistent. You can trade one type of trading style. Like, for example, we scalp here. So our trading style is momentum scalping, and we trade in the direction of the trend. So that's our style of trading. But within that style, there's different types of strategies. So the intraday scalp will like line up with the breakout. The breakout will line up with the momentum counter scalp. All these trades will kind of line up with each other. So we're all trading the same style, but the entry points are at different areas. So, you know, that's why I'm doing this work to pretty much front end what's going to help us moving forward for next year. So like, for example, you guys have saw my spreadsheet over here. I have all of the entries documented from January up until today, right? So this is going to be useful for us in 2024. So once it hits January next year, we can look back over here and say, okay, these are the strategies that we're working in January, right? The momentum scalp, the breakout V2, momentum counter scalp variations, etc. And that's what we're going to look at to take next January. So say it comes back to like fall season or summer season, right? The market's kind of slow. When the market starts to slow down, what strategies will we be applying in July? We were applying the momentum pullback scalp, the 1 hour entry, variation V1, liquidity push. So we'll know what to apply when the year comes, when the time comes next year. So I'm just front ending this work so that when it comes time to trading next year, we'll know exactly what strategies to use, what strategies to avoid, what TP stop loss to use, because, you know, the market's ever changing. And now that we have this data is really going to have us, it's going to help us really understand, you know, what to be using during a certain time period. So other than that, let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Thanks, Maddie, for messaging me that. Yeah, Vince. So Vince mentioned the high-low momentum scalp here. If you took the regular high-low momentum scalp, it actually hit. So if you're applying the original strategy, which is a 10-30 split, that right there did play out. But if you're doing a 1-to-1, it didn't play out. So that's the thing that I was mentioning about this strategy. When I created this strategy, I came into this problem. Like there was a problem where I couldn't do a 1-to-1, right? That's why I had to do a negative risk reward. Now you guys can understand why it's a negative risk reward, because it does work, but you have to like be very aware of like the market conditions and how market is moving. So right now we're currently looking for a buy signal. This buy signal has been pending for, I mean, some time now. It's been kind of showing up and disappearing for like the past like 5 candles now, 5 or 6 candles. So if this here does close, I probably won't take it personally. The thing is, the volatility here is starting to die down a bit, and this signal here hasn't been able to close for like the past 10 minutes or so. I think the first candle came up right here on this first one, this big one. It never closed, and then now it's been trying to close for like the past, 10 minutes now. So I would be careful if you guys are looking to take the intraday scalp. I'm going to document it because I need to for the spreadsheet, but I'm probably not going to take the intraday scalp because the volatility here is very low. What I'd be looking for is I'll be looking for a momentum pullback scalp, but I won't be looking for this intraday scalp. Other than that, yeah, Maddie said it might be a triple confluence. Yeah, if it closed, but it didn't, right? Yeah, this market is it's very bipolar to say the least. If you guys have seen, this whole week's kind of been like this. If you guys have been trading with me since Monday, the market's been very bipolar. You can't really see it too well here, but going over here to the clean chart, let me just take some stuff off here. You guys can see how messy the chart is, right? It's a mess. There's not really much here to look at. Let me go and just update the zones real quick. All right, so we got a zone right there, zone right there. We have another zone right here. All right, so you guys can see it's very erratic. There's not really much of a direction. You guys can see there's just a bunch of fake outs in both directions. You have a fake out down here, price pushed up right here, fake out, consolidated for a bit right here sideways, came back down, fake out right here. It was actually a double fake out. It was like a triple fake out actually. So price came down, faked out right here, came back up, faked out right there, came back down, double fake out. And now it came right back up and just did the same thing. Came back up, consolidated, and then a bunch of fake outs right here. Fake out, came down, faked out, came back up, fake out, came back down. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is another fake out, right? Or if this might be the drop from where it's currently at. And then it comes back down to opening price. If you guys remember, the target price point for the climb would have been up here. This is liquidity. So going to the liquidity chart over here, it never reached that point. So, you know, this is like a clear example where you should be avoiding the market. You know, we've talked about this over the past couple of weeks, past couple of months. I feel like the main problem with a lot of traders and why you guys are not consistent is that you don't know when to not trade. Like the thing is, you have a strategy in mind and you just want to take every single entry. You can technically take every single entry, but you have to really take every single entry and you'll balance out with your profits at the end of the end of the month, right? But if you're like being selective at times, and then sometimes you're being like kind of YOLO, you're taking every single entry, you know, that's a good recipe for blowing your account because I think the real key and the real discipline and skill with trading is understanding when not to trade. And I feel like that's something that's not taught to a lot of people. With a lot of people, you guys are taught to look for entries, but you're not really taught to avoid manipulation, because this here is clear manipulation. You guys can see there's no direction. Price comes up and there's like 5 fake outs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fake outs right here. It did exactly what I mentioned. So I said, there's going to be a fake out right here, fake out right here. And I said, okay, I wouldn't be surprised if this here would be another fake out. And what happened? It was another fake out right there. Right. So I think the key thing here is like, it's really understanding when to just wait and be patient. It's kind of like fishing. I try to use fishing as an analogy. You're just fishing for that catch. You're waiting for it to come to you. You're not necessarily driving your boat around trying to catch the fish. You're just sitting there and then you're waiting for the fish to come to you, right? Same with trading. We're just sitting here and we're waiting for the trade to come to us. It hasn't came yet. You know, going back over here, that buy signal still hasn't came up yet, right? So we had a buy signal that was pending from like here up until here. It disappeared. And then now it's making its another attempt. So we're basically fishing for this buy signal. Once we get the buy signal there, it's going to be an intraday scalp. Again, right here, there goes the buy signal. We're just fishing for this entry. If this closes, it's technically an intraday scalp. Again, I don't think I'll be taking this because of, you know, how the market's currently moving right now. I would rather wait for a momentum pullback scalp. So what I'll do here is I'll mark it up and we'll identify it because I need to put it in the spreadsheet, but I'm probably not going to take the trade. So this candle has about 30 seconds left on it. It has a lot of time. I wouldn't be surprised if it disappears. So you see right there, again, it disappeared. So just don't get your hopes up. I feel like when you guys get your hopes up too early, you start to get FOMO, and sometimes you're just like, fuck it, right? You just take the trade. You take the trade, and then you're like, damn, I should have never taken that trade. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been in that situation where you're just like, you're just patiently waiting, the entry never comes, and then you're kind of just YOLO into the position. So for example, right here, this is an intraday scalp. I'm not going to take the trade. I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take it. Entry happened right there. I'm going to document it. So I'll just take this off. I don't want you guys to think that I'm actually in the position. I'm just documenting it for the strategy over here. Like if the win rate here isn't above like a 60-65% win rate, I'm just not going to apply the strategy. We're going to switch it out, right? If you look at the breakout over here, the breakout currently at a 60%, but it's a 1-to-1, so it's pretty decent. And then looking over here at the momentum counter scalp, it's currently at an 83.33% win rate. So this strategy is good. This is one that we'll actually be focusing on, or we won't focus on, but we'll keep it as like, we'll keep it in our back pocket, right? If you want to take the strategy, because it has a pretty good win rate. This is a negative risk reward, so it's like a 1 to 2.5. So it's not the best risk reward, but the win rate's so high where you can still take this trade. Like for example, here we have a crazy win streak. We have a win streak of like about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins, right? And then you have 1 loss. I'll take that any day. If I can get 12 wins and 1 loss, I'll take that any day. And then right here, 2 more wins, 1 loss, 1 loss. But if you counted this all together, you'd still be massively in profit. So like the profit for this strategy so far is about 1,050 pips, which is well worth the risk in my opinion. I would take it if I had that opportunity. So it looks like the strategy here didn't play out. It didn't play out, and we anticipated it not to play out. So no surprise there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just document that real quick. This was the intraday scalp. I'm gonna go and put that in our spreadsheet. So again, this is why we're testing these strategies, so that you guys aren't being the test dummies and like trying it out when it's not really working so well. So maybe this is a sign to not apply the strategy during this time period, September, and then we'll pick it back up with it, another time. So 9/28/23. The time for that was, we'll say 7:20. It was for a buy. It was a loss for negative 25 points. All right. So there we go. So yeah, we're going to keep testing it. And then if you don't want to take it, or if you don't want to use it, we're just going to take it off the list, and then we'll try out other strategy. Let's see. Let's scroll up real quick. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything over here. Go back to the charts. Okay, so there's no entry for us right now. We're looking for another buy signal. We need a buy signal to come up. Once that buy signal comes up, we'll look for a momentum pullback scalp, something like that. Right now, we just don't have anything. So once we get that buy signal, we can look for an entry. But at the moment, we don't have that buy signal just yet. Let's see, question from Natasha. She's asking, does it matter that it was right at the sessions or no? So if you're applying the original strategy, the intraday scalp, the red flags do apply. So yeah, that would be a factor that you would factor in. I haven't factored it into this strategy because this is just, so the intraday scalp, and I'll change the name here because I think this is where the confusion might. Because this isn't the actual intraday scalp. If you're applying the intraday scalp regularly, then yeah, you would avoid that trade right there, Natasha, because it's a red flag, right? All of these horizontal lines, basically every horizontal line that's not black, so this purple one right here, let me see if I can hide that. If any trades are at these horizontal lines, right, this purple line, this red line, you guys can see how manipulation happens around these points, right? These are the session high lows. So if you're applying any of the other strategies like that are regularly applied throughout the day, this is something that would be avoided because it's an obvious red flag. Price was right at the sessions. However, if you're applying the once a day strategy, for my testing purposes, I'm not testing with any red flags because it's just a once a day strategy. So in order for me to really document that, I need to make sure that there's not too many factors that are going to prevent us from taking entries. So yeah, for the original strategy, if you're just applying the original intraday scalp, then yes, you would avoid that entry there because it's at an obvious red flag, the session's high-low. That's the whole reason I created this indicator, to prevent us from getting caught in this manipulation. So you guys can see over here, whenever price comes near these sessions, price gets highly manipulated, right? And that's the whole reason why I created that indicator. So yeah, thanks for the question, Natasha. That was a good question that a lot of people probably wouldn't be aware of unless you've been around the group for a while. So PC's asking, just joined late, was the 635 not the intraday entry? 635. You know, it's weird. The trend meter down here wasn't green below before. Let me go check real quick. Yeah, it was weird. I don't remember this being here. I don't know if anybody remember this being here, but I don't recall seeing it. But yeah, if that was the case, then you're right, PC. That was the entry there. I swear that wasn't green though earlier. I don't know. I might be seeing things. But if that's the case, I mean, either way, they still didn't work out. But no, it's a good call. Thanks, PC, for confirming that. I didn't realize that was a green trend meter. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention at the time because we were looking for something else. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. I mean, either way, it still would have been a loss regardless. I mean, a lot of the buys here are not going to be good entries because the overall bias for today is a sell. So that's why I'm using my bias. So like, even though we're looking at these entries here, and we're trying to identify them without bias, I still have my bias here. So for me personally, like whenever I take a trade, I like to know for sure if the trade's going to work or not. So if it's going against my bias, I probably won't take it, especially if it's, you know, considered a strategy that's not very high in probability. So we got news coming up right here in about 3 minutes. Thanks, Daniel, for the heads up. And we'll continue looking for any possible entries. I haven't taken any other entries aside from the momentum counter scalp today. So I just have one entry for today so far. And that is about it at the moment. I'm hoping we get one momentum pullback scalp, because that's one of the official strategies that I actually like to apply. So I think the momentum pullback scalp will probably be a staple for us because it's a pretty good strategy. In order for us to take that entry, we're going to need to have a buy signal come up. The thing with the momentum pullback scalp is that it aligns with a lot of other strategies, not just for our momentum type trading, but it also aligns with pattern trading. So if you guys remember yesterday, I mentioned that it lines up with like head and shoulders a lot. And that's actually one of the patterns that I like to trade. I don't like trading patterns, but that's something that I do like to trade because it tends to work out very well, especially for these types of movements that we're looking for. Okay, so we have a buy signal right here. We have news in about a minute, so I'm hoping that the entry doesn't come up by the time news comes up right here. I think it's low impact news, it's just gas news, but still, I wouldn't want to take a trade when news is in the way. Yeah, it's gas stock change right here at 7:30. Retail sentiment kind of shifted a little bit, so it's not really, it's still one-sided, but not super one-sided. So it's now at 59% long. All right, so what we're looking for right here is we're looking for price to push up, retrace, and continue up higher. If we get something like that, that's going to be an entry for a buy. And that's what we're looking for. $23.23 right there. But we have news coming up right here in about a minute. So, all right, we got news right there. Let me go and just update this real quick. Take that off. All right, so we got this big push. So again, like we talked about earlier, guys, like even though the news is low impact, you should still take it into consideration, right? Because it was low impact news, but look how much price dropped. So this is exactly why you would not want to trade any news. It doesn't matter if it's a low impact news or a high impact news. The news here was, and the news was positive too. So if it said there was a V1, so yes, it was a perfect V1 right there too. So there's a lot of these entries that come up. A V1 right there that came up pretty nicely, went straight to TP. Wrong one. So yeah. So the V1 right there came up perfectly and went straight to TP. This one is another favorite for a lot of people. So I think this might be another strategy that we might be looking at to add to our testing phase. We're trying to figure out a lot of good strategies that are one-to-one, basically strategies that are on open, but a one-to-one strategy. A lot of our older strategies are not one-to-one. Like for example, here our V1 variation, this is not a one-to-one strategy, it's a 1-to-3. A lot of people don't like that because they're not able to decipher what's a risky trade and what isn't. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for a one-to-one strategy or trying to make it a one-to-one by using the ATR. So for example, right here, the ATR was at 25. So I would have done a 25, 25. And either way, it still would have hit TP. No, they all play through like that. Let's see. Question from, let's see, William said might be. I think you got it confused, William. So what I just said right now was that I'm looking to make them a one-to-one on open. They're totally different strategies. There are still regular strategies, but we're talking about using them as an open. That's the whole reason for us applying these differently, right? Like the high-low momentum scalp. This right here would have lost if you did a one-to-one on open, but if you did the original strategy, would have hit for 100 pips. So I'm kind of confused with like what your question is about, like it might be. If you have like a might be question mark, I'm not sure what you're like referring to. Because we can't create 30 strategies. Like I have over 30 strategies. We can't make them all open strategies. They're all like different. So I think you're just, yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah. William said I know one-to-one, sorry, distracted. Yeah, I think you're just confused about like, because these strategies work, it's just we're trying to make them a one-to-one. And for us to make them a one-to-one, they have to be tested, right? So that's why we're testing them with different TP stop losses, and then we're testing them throughout different time periods of the day. So, yeah, Maddie, no, for sure. A lot of these strategies, you can do them one-to-one. It's just you have to make some small adjustments. Like we already have a lot of strategies here. We have like about 30 strategies that we can use. If you guys have been part of the course, so if you guys are new here and you guys don't have access to the course, just go to the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access. When you go from there, it'll give you access to the course. This is what the course looks like. If you guys have been trading with me for the past 5 to 7 years now, you guys will see that I've pretty much, every time I came up with a strategy that worked very well, I introduced it here. The problem with a lot of these strategies is that they're negative risk to reward. There's no problem with them being a negative risk to reward, but it's a problem for a lot of new traders or traders in general who can't get the logic behind why it's a negative risk to reward. They have a high win rate, like they're like an 80 to 90% win rate. So as long as you take quality entries, you can take them at a negative risk to reward. You just have to be very careful about the entries you take. So the difference about what I'm doing now is that I'm looking for entries that happen within a certain time period, and I'm pretty much evolving them into a one-to-one risk reward strategy. So it's the same strategy. The only difference is that we're changing the TP stop loss. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can take the entry throughout the day, but like these entries over here. So for example, looking at the spreadsheet over here, if you were to apply these with the original strategy, you probably would have had more wins here. This probably wouldn't be a low win rate. This would probably be like at maybe 90% win rate, because a lot of these entries here, you would just take them for a quick 100 pips, right? And that's how I develop the strategies. But the thing with this here is that I'm trying to make some change to accommodate for, not necessarily for certain people, but for us in general. Because I think obviously a one-to-one would be better, but it just depends on the market. This type of market that we're in right now is not really a good market to be. Like, I think this type of market that we're in right now, this is a good market to get in and out very quickly. So right now, if you're applying any of the strategies, I'd probably just go for 100 pips to get in and out very quick. Trying to mess around with the market with a one-to-one will get you caught in these fake outs. So like, for example, here, if you were to take, see, like we have a high-low momentum scalp coming up. I'm not going to take the trade, but I'll mark it up for you guys here if it does come up. if you were to do the original strategy, if you're going for 100 pips, it's probably going to be very decent for you to just catch it. So I'll follow right here and we'll see where it goes. I'm not going to take it myself. I'm just going to follow it. I'm looking for a momentum pullback scalp. So I'll follow it right here for you guys. This is another strategy that a lot of people like to apply. I think Daniel's like one of the people that applies it a lot. So if you were to do this with the original TP stop loss at 1030 split, this is what it would look like. And odds of it hitting are probably likely. I just wasn't comfortable with taking it right now because of the shift in trend. So you can see right there, it's pushing up and it's probably going to push through and hit its TP. But again, I'm not in the position. We're just following it right here. But yeah, so the way that I figured out these TP stop losses is through like a ton of testing myself. So I did a lot of testing myself to put these strategies together and figuring out what's the good TP stop loss. And now I'm just making some more adjustments to it. Strategy is exactly the same. The only difference is that there is a change in the TP stop loss. But you guys can see how price is moving right here. It's not really a good area to be trading because there's a lot of fake outs, there's just no consistency. Typically, this would just shoot right through. But you can see right here that this just might consolidate for a bit before it actually goes through, right? I don't know if there's any other levels here for us to look out for, but no, it's just a slow market, which is surprising because the ATR is currently at 23, so it should be just blasting right through. So there you go, price pushes back up again for another test. Let's see, Kenny just sent me this link. All right, so it looks like there is going to be, the House Democratic leader, Jeffries, is going to be holding a news briefing as Biden impeachment inquiry begins. I didn't even know this was going on. So they're trying to impeach Biden. It's about time. I didn't know they were trying to impeach Biden. Or am I just reading this wrong? House Democratic leader Jeffries holds news briefing as Biden impeachment inquiry begins. I didn't even know that was happening, but so be it. All right, so there you go. There goes the high-level momentum scalp. As you guys can see, I didn't feel comfortable with it because I felt like this was going to happen, a sideways movement, but you can see that the strategy still works fine. So when I put together these strategies, I did like years and years of testing, guys. Like before I introduced these strategies to you guys, I did a lot of testing. I went back so far in data so that I knew that 100 pips was the TP that we were supposed to aim for. I just put this 300 pip here for a safety net. So this here was a safety net, but you guys can see that the TP almost always gets hit. It doesn't matter if the market's choppy, if it's slow, eventually it's going to get hit at some point. So, like I was saying earlier, guys, all my strategies here, if you follow any of the strategies here on the course, like all these strategies work perfectly well. It's just, you have to make adjustments depending on your trading style. If you don't like to trade negative risk to reward, then you can base it off your ATR. Again, if you wanted to take this trade off the ATR, so let's see, ATR right now is currently, or it was at 24, right? So if we change this to 24, you can see that the trade's still technically running, but you can see how it becomes a risk at this point, right? At this point now, it becomes risky because it's a bit overextended at this time. So let me just measure it from here up to here. It's not very overextended, but it's getting to that point. But yeah, I mean, you could basically make any strategy 1-to-1. For me personally, I don't really care for the 1-to-1 because I just like winning trades. So I'd rather win a trade, be out of the position, and then be done, and then wait for the next one, right? That's just my style of trading. But again, it doesn't fit everybody. So, I mean, if you like to trade and if you like to win, then trade my style. If you don't like to win and you're okay with losing, then you can make adjustments, but you're going to have a lower win rate. So for me, I like having like a 90% win rate. You guys can see from my results for the month so far. My results are pretty solid for the month so far. I'm currently at an 81% win rate, or I think I am. Let me just update this real quick. So for the month of September, you guys have seen all of my profits because I showed you guys a screenshot of literally every trade I've taken, and the screenshot of every trade we take is right here too. So if you guys want to go back and vet my trades, feel free to go back and take a look. But I take a lot of pride in having like a high win rate because you don't see a lot of people that are very consistent like this. We trade daily. So I have an 81% win rate for the month so far. For the year, I'm up So here's for the month of September, and these are all documented trades here on these live sessions that are live streamed. I have 17 wins, 4 losses, total profit of 1,700 pips, total trades of 21 trades, win-loss ratio of 81%. So I have an 81% win rate for the month so far. For the year so far, up until August, not including this month, I have 154 wins, 21 losses, 23,330 pip profit. Total trades of 175, win-loss ratio of 88%. So, I don't really miss very much. Like my ratio is pretty high, and everything here is documented. So just to put that into context, if you guys can just do this consistently, like last month, I didn't have a great month. So being straight up, last month was not a good month. I took a lot of dumb trades. Right here, you can see dumb trades should have been avoided. Criteria wasn't met. I had a 68% win rate. That's probably my lowest win-loss ratio because I was just not doing well that month. Every other month I was like at 80%, 88, 91%, 100%, 89%, 87%. I try to be as, as accurate as possible. My main goal is to profit. So when I trade, I look to profit. I don't look to go for those huge profits, but I look to just profit in general. So, if you guys can do that, your consistency will just go up tremendously. So, if you look at my profits for the month so far, so this is from yesterday. So these are my profits for the month, for the week, and for the day. I have 2 new accounts here, so you can see these are different. This account right here got dropped. So I had 2 personal accounts. I just merged them into 1 account, so I just have 1 account now. I think that's about it. And I got a new FTMO. So my 200K FTMO right here is now reset because it's a new account. And then one of my FTMOs got reset too. So 2 accounts got reset. This personal account is gone. I just merged it into this one. And everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 accounts now. I had 10 before. I now have 9 because I merged my personal accounts together. All right, so this market sucks. There's still no buy. There's no entry for us right now. There's currently a buy signal, but there's no bullish trend. So in order for us to have entry here, we need price to actually climb up from where it's currently at. Price right here is obviously ranging. We need price to climb up and continue going up higher. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Unfortunately, there's just nothing for us to take here right now. I'm still personally looking for a trade because I want to take at least one more before we get off this live session. But if we don't get anything, I'm not going to force any trades here, of course. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for this red pivot to cross below all the other pivots. We currently have a green trend meter right here, but it's still pending. You can see it went from blue to green, so it still hasn't been established yet. If price continues to climb up higher, then this red pivot should shift below all the other pivots. And then from there, we'll be looking for a possible buy entry for a momentum pullback scalp. We just don't have that yet. But, as I mentioned, this is just a game of patience, guys. It's about waiting for that trade to come to you. You're not here to force anything. You're not here to think, okay, just because of this analysis, price has to climb up, right? You're not thinking that. You're thinking, okay, if price comes up, I'm looking for it to pull back down. And then when it pulls back down at that area, then, okay, I'm going to look for my entry at that point there. Because the thing is, you can enter from right here, and then your trade goes back into drawdown, and then it eventually goes up. But if you just wait for the perfect entry, you might not even have any drawdown at all. It might just go straight to your GP. So that's just the way that I see it, guys. That's the difference between getting in early and getting in on time. So yeah, trading it's a skill and it's an art of itself. It's really just like, it's just knowing when to do certain things at certain times. There's no one way to do this, but the way that I personally do it, I think is probably the best way for me personally for scalping. So, all right, we have a bullish trend right here. We're looking for a red candle. If this candle closes red, the entry would technically be right here at the 40 mark. If it closes below this point, the entry would be right here at the 30 mark. So just look for how this candle closes, and that's where you're going to be looking for your possible entry. If it closes below here, entry is going to be at the 30 mark again, like I mentioned. If it closes above, it's going to be at that 40 mark. You can see it's a little bit of a jumpy candle right here. And if it closes below that, it might be even lower than that. It seems like the entry point will be here at the 30 or the 40 area. All right, looks like it's going to be at the 30 area down here. So this is where the entry point would be if you're looking to take this for a buy, for a momentum pullback scalp. So you're just looking for price to come down to that 30 area, and that is where your entry will be placed. The thing that sucks with MT4 is that we can't really put a pending limit or pending order, so I would have to do it all manually. I would just have to watch it and see if price comes down. Right here, if price pushes back up, it's going to have to reset again. So price is pushing up, the entry never filled. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. All right, so the entry did not fill. Looks like we're gonna have to go for the next candle here. If this candle closes above, I mean, close like right at it. If it closed above like where it's at right now, it would have to reset. So looking at this right here, if this here closes above like all the other candles, we'll have to look for the next retracement. So we'll look for price to pull up, another retracement, and then from there, entry. Then that kind of looks like what's going to happen here. The volatility is starting to die down a little bit. You can see it's going down to 21. It was currently at 25 earlier. But I'm glad to see that there's volatility in the market. So you guys can see here that the market is actually picking up. It's finally getting into this this fall season, which is exactly what we were waiting for. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. All right, 7:47 right now. It's getting close to 8 o'clock, guys. If I don't get an entry by like, I don't know, 7:50 something, then we might have to just wrap it up for the day. The good thing is that the volatility is up, so hopefully this continues to be the price movement for the next couple months. September, October, November, December. So we got about 5 months to like really soak in this volatility until we get back into like the summer season again, or close to the summer season. All right, if this candle here closes, again, red candle, entry would be right here at the 50 mark. If it closes below, it's going to be at the 40 mark right here. Let me measure this real quick. I want to make sure it's not super overextended. It's still kind of decent right now. So the entry would be here at the 50 mark. Watch and see where this ends up going. If it closes below, then we got to go to that next level. All right, so the entry would have, oh man, I couldn't even get into that right there. Moved too fast. So the entry technically would have been right there at that level. It was moving a little too fast, so I wasn't able to get in. Let's see if I could. This is the downside about the high volatility. Sometimes the volatility is just a little too fast, and then you kind of you miss the entry. So let me see if I can maybe get in, put a buy stop right there. This comes up, pushes through. I gotta watch it manually because this thing here spreads kind of whack. I gotta get out manually. Oh fuck. So I got out manually, guys, right there, full TP on the momentum pullback scalp. Man, I freaking I hate doing it manually. It's like, it's just nerve wracking because you gotta like wait for it to hit TP and then you gotta close out manually. Let me see what I got on that. I got half profit. It's all good. I got caught in that. It's the thing that sucks about doing it manually because you're never going to get full profit. You're either going to get more or you're going to get partial. Unfortunately, I got partial. I mean, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. I still make profit on it. Okay, let me see my profit so far. Yeah, I can't really complain. I made profit on it. So can't be a little crybaby about that. But it's just, well, it's always a little bit of a hassle when you have to do it manually. But it still works. I mean, if you guys just watch it manually, you just got to be quick. Like when it comes down to your TP, you got to hit it. And then when it goes up, you got to hit it too. But anyways, let me take a screenshot of this. So this is the trade I took, momentum pullback scalp. You guys can see this is why this is my favorite strategy, because you get in at a really optimal entry. Like you get in like literally where it's perfect, where there's like barely any drawdown. It comes down, fills, go straight to TP. You kind of just like, you're like literally just, you're just like picking, like you're taking the low hanging fruit, basically. You know, a lot of people talk about don't take the low hanging fruit. For me, I'll take all the low hanging fruit. Like I'd rather have like 100 wins here with like 100 pips versus having like one big win and then a whole bunch of losses. I'm a low hanging fruit type of guy. Like I'm the type of guy that like, I'd rather have like a whole basket full of fruit than having like just this big apple, right? It's and people are different, you know, everybody's personality with trading is slightly different. So it just depends on the person. So anyways, let me just put this update over here. It's just easier for me to put this on here, and then I'll copy it over. So I'll still be on Telegram, guys. I just won't be posting the Zoom link on there. It's probably going to be the main place, the main thing for me too. Sorry, guys. Cody's barking. Cody's awake. All right, so we got that prop right there. That's trade I took the momentum pullback scalp. Let me take a screenshot of all of my profits. Cody, sorry guys. Cody's awake. This is walk time. And it's crazy. These dogs, like they know exactly when it's 8 o'clock or when it's getting close to 8. Steve's ready for his walk. So I think it's about time for me to get off this live. So guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to post up my profits real quick. I'll take my individual profits as well. And then we'll wrap this up for the day. I'm just not expecting any entries to come up from now until 8. It's 7:52. We have like a couple minutes till that time. So let me go ahead and just post up my profits real quick. I'll take my individual screenshots too. So we got that right there. I'll add this to the spreadsheet. So again, we have another win here for the 28th. So 2 wins for today. And you guys can see it's like, it's not really difficult to be consistent. If you guys can just not take dumb trades, like, I know sometimes it's hard to do that, but if you guys can just prevent yourself from taking dumb trades, it'll make all the difference with your trading. Like, and you guys can see here, my win rate just went up slightly. So now for the month of September, I'm currently at an 81.8% win rate. So, I mean, it's all patience, guys. It's all discipline and consistency. You guys can see all my trades here documented. Everything is live streamed. If you guys want to go back and watch any of these live streams, you can pull it up on YouTube. If you guys go to the YouTube channel again. So if you guys pull up our YouTube channel, if you guys ever want to go and review any of the trades, so just go to the spreadsheet. Again, go to the Discord, go down to 2023 official live trades, click on the spreadsheet right here. You'll get the spreadsheet right here. And if you guys want to go back and review the trade, you guys can see for today, I took 2 trades on September 28th. You go over here to the YouTube channel, go to live trading sessions, and then pull up the session from September 28th. Click on that. You can watch the whole live stream, watch how I traded, see my thought process, see the strategy, everything's there. You know, I have over 741 videos here, just live trading sessions. Like if you guys put that into consideration, like, let's see, how many business days in a year? So you think about it, 260 work days, right? This is not including like holidays. So say for example, 260 work days. So if you were to divide, so I have 741 videos divided by 260 work days, not including holidays. That's about 3 years of live trading sessions. I don't know anybody who has this many live trading sessions posted, like for the public to view. Like I don't even charge for this stuff. Anybody can go and review any of my live sessions, and you guys can like learn everything that I'm doing because I do everything live in real time. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, you know, feel free to put them in the chat. Let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, Marcin said sometimes market's just too choppy and quick, and he's staying away from trading after taking the position. Yeah, Maddie said he's going to send his profits. He's done for the day. Let's see. Ruin said we're going to get everything out of the Discord, right? Can delete Telegram. Yeah, you can do that, Ruin. You can delete the Telegram if you want. I mean, if you want to keep it up, you can keep it up. It's really up to you, but I'm not going to be posting in the Telegram anymore. Everything's going to be in the Discord. I know a lot of you guys like it. I like it too, because everything here is pretty much very organized. If you guys want to look at any of the strategies, you can click here. All the strategies and indicators will be listed here for the videos. If you're in the premium, this is where the Zoom links are posted. These are where the announcements are posted. Every live trading session is going to be posted here. Every mentoring session posted here. Every live results here. Official profits are going to be all of my profits. Are going to be posted here. We'll go over the team profits real quick. So we have Natasha over here. Obviously, have Madhu. So Madhu said he sat out of the pullback, didn't feel confident, but he still made some pretty good profit for the day. Total profit of 1,547 for the day. Nice work right there, Madhu. We have Natasha here, total profit of 331 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Natasha. We have Francis over here, total profit of 880 for the day. Great work, Francis. We have David here, total profit of about 40 for the day, 2 back-to-back full TPs. Nice work right there, David. And we have Gian over here, total profit of 1,760 for the day. Great work, Gian. Looking over here, we have Barack, total profit of 508 for the day. Nice work, Barack. Yeah, solid profits right there. I'll just copy this over right now. Barack's profits. And then we have Kevin over here, total profit of 22,780 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Kevin. Yeah, solid work, guys. Kevin's profits. What I'll do now is I'll take individual screenshots of my own profits. I'll go over the list real quick. So here's a trade that we took. Here are all my accounts. So here's my first funded engineer account locked in 1,310. This is my FTMO locked in 1,930. My second FTMO 1,530. My fourth account or third account 1,530. This is my 200K account. I locked in 3,560. This is my second funded engineer account, total profit of 645. This is my personal account, 450. And this is my TFF account, total profit of 1,232 for the day, all wins. So those are all my accounts right there. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. What I'll do here is I'll take the individual screenshots of my profits, and then from there we'll wrap it up. So I'll hang out for a little bit. If there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm here to help you guys out. So whatever you guys need help with, don't feel shy to ask any questions. During the live session, probably don't ask a question unless it's important. But at the end of the session, guys, like right now, you guys are free to ask whatever questions you guys have. I know sometimes people are scared to ask questions during the live because they don't want to ask any dumb questions in front of everybody. But right now, dumb questions and smart questions are all welcome. So whatever questions you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't want you guys to ever feel like you guys are not able to ask a question. If you guys are too scared to ask on the live session, like you feel like you don't want to ask something dumb, then go over here to the Discord, go to the team chat, and then put your question here. Or if you have a trade question, put your trade question right here. If you want me to analyze anything, just put your question here. If you want me to analyze what US30 is going to do, for the week or for the month or for whatever it really is, I can analyze it for you. It doesn't have to be US30 either. If you have a Forex question, I mean, anything really, I could trade anything. So if there's anything you want me to analyze, anything that, like, if you're in a position and you're confused, like wondering what you should do about it, you can just ask me, like, hey, Sean, what do you think gold is going to do in the next hour or so? Right. And I can analyze it for you, and I can give you different scenarios. And I think that's the big pro about being in this community, is that I've been trading for so long that it doesn't matter what asset we're looking at. I kind of know how to do everything for the most part, or not necessarily do everything well. It's just I know how to analyze basically any type of chart that we're looking at. Okay, one more account here real quick. That's good. Alan said gold is getting spanked. Yeah, no, for sure. The market is crazy, guys. Like, so just be careful if you guys are trading something like gold. Like for me personally, I personally don't like gold. It's not exactly my forte. I don't know. Some people really like gold, but I never. Every time I try to trade gold, it's either really good or it's really bad. It's never consistent for me, and that's probably just because I haven't traded it long enough. But it's fine. I'm probably never going to trade gold. It's not my type of asset. All right, so I got all my profits here screenshotted. Let me go ahead and post this in the group. All right, first account. All right, guys, so here goes my profits for the day. So here is my, no, I'll just copy this over. It's probably easier. So I don't have to do this later. I'd rather just get all the work done here with you guys while I'm on this live session in case anybody has any questions. So, engineer one. All right, so here goes my first funded engineer account, locked in a total profit of 1,310, all wins. Here is my FTMO account. First one, total profit of 1,930. My second account right here. Total profit of 1,530. Third account. Total profit of 1,530 as well. And here's my main account. So this is the account that I am doing all my trades on. This is my 200K account. You guys can see that's why it has a green strip there, because this is the one that I'm letting run to TP. So this is my main account. I locked in total profit of 3,560. So all my trades are executed on this account. Every other account that I'm showing you is a copier. So that's my main account right there. This is my second funded engineer account, total profit of 645. This is my personal account, locked in a total profit of 424 for the day. And here is my TFF account. I only traded one TFF today. So total profit of 1,232, all wins. So those are all my profits for the day. It looks like there's no other questions. I think we've covered pretty much everything so far. So if there's anything else that you guys have, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available. So if you guys message me on Discord, you guys can see my DMs are blowing up right here. I got to respond to everybody. After this live session, there's no other trades here. As you guys can see, it's now 8:03, so it's way past time for trading. So if there's any other questions, guys, reach out. Otherwise, I'll be back here tomorrow for the next live session. Same place, same time. We'll reset and come back then for the next trading session. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys then. If you guys have questions,